I bottle everything up inside and I never give myself enough grace. Taught to be like, be strong, Jennifer. You don't need to cry so much. You don't need to talk. It's so immature. Hi guys, I'm Jen. I'm your host for Life is Messy. Welcome to episode 4. Today we're gonna talk about something where I think people are really afraid to talk about. And it's about mental health and how it ties into motherhood and self-care and everything. So I don't know if you guys watch my stories, and it's funny because it really isn't about the cranberries. And I'll tell you what had happened. It was Thursday morning, and I've been watching this TikTok viral recipe of making candied cranberries, okay? So I was like, you know what? I had this idea. I'm gonna make these cranberries and I'm gonna gift them and package them and give it to people that have helped me. Like I had this whole idea of this system of what it is. When I want to do something, I start from the beginning and then it kind of in my brain, I set it out where I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And that morning, that's not exactly how it went. So making these cranberries, it's a 2-day process. You have to soak them 24 hours overnight. And after that, you have to dry them and you have to put powdered sugar on it and then you have to bake it and then you have to put it back in the fridge. So the morning of Thursday, I wake up, I'm so excited, 6 a.m. I was like, I'm gonna make these cranberries. So literally get the cranberries, okay? Strain them, and then I put the powdered sugar, but it was all like super goopy and soft. It's supposed to make a crack, okay? Like when you bite it, it's supposed to be like a good crack. And then I was like, oh wait, I have to bake them. So then I bake them, and then it starts melting. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I did it wrong. You know, and I think it brought me back to a time where, and this is where mental health plays in, when something doesn't go right, I blame myself more, and it's like you feel like the world is ending. And I just remember telling myself, Jen, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. So I take the twins, and then I forgot my car was parked outside. And the way to get to my apartment place, it's like a super security-based place. So if you stalkers want to try to find me, you can't, haha. But long story short is you have to have a code. I find out, I go downstairs, Mia forgets her backpack. We're already running late. They start school at 8 in the morning. We're in the car at 7:50. They're like, Mommy, I forgot my backpack, like my bag. I was like, okay. But the problem is I didn't have my phone either. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do? I run to the garage to go upstairs to get the backpack. Then I come downstairs and then I forget my phone. Then I run back up, go upstairs, get my phone, come down, and then I'm driving. Mind you, this is all cranberry morning day, okay? So we're driving and then I just like lost it. It was 7:59 and the twins like, are we gonna be late? I was like, no, I'm gonna get you guys there, but we're gonna have to change up the plan. I'm gonna drop you guys off here and you guys are gonna run straight to the gate because we're not gonna be late. But while we were going that process, I just started tearing up and I was driving and Shelby's like, Mama, what's wrong? And I was like, do you know, I'm just really sad about the cranberries. And it's funny, right? And she's like, what do you mean? I tell her the story, I tell her the situation, I tell her the plans. And she's like, Mama, like, it's just a cranberry. And then I literally was like, it's not about the cranberries. It's not about the cranberries. I think for me is I bottle everything up inside and I never give myself enough grace to really handle things head on when there's a problem. When there's a problem, I fix it, but I don't dwell on it. I just shove it back inside. And so sometimes when you have too much stuff that you just shove inside, that sounds so immature. You know, sometimes a trigger will happen. So I go back to everything and I just think about, why do I get like this? Why do I literally get affected by this? And so now I have this idea, anytime I get into a phase where I'm spiraling and making things bigger than what it is, I just like think about, it's not about the cranberries, and I start laughing and I give myself a reflection of what is it truly about? So mental health and, medication, all these things. I grew up in a generation where it was not talked about, especially in an Asian household. My parents were I pretty much raised myself. My grandma raised me, but I was always taught not to cry. And I was always taught to be strong, Jennifer. You don't need to cry so much. You don't need to talk. Just be happy. So I was this happy girl for everybody all the time. It didn't matter what I was going through. It didn't matter anyway. All the way up until I got divorced, truly. When I got divorced, I was like, F this. Like, I'm done being happy for everyone else. It's time for me to be happy. So I chose that route. During that time, I was in therapy. I was really trying to figure it out and work it out with my ex-husband because I never... I'm not like, oh my God, just get divorced, like give up on everything, like whatever, move on. I'm not like that. I feel like with anything in life, you have to try your best and really give it your all before you let go and you move forward and move on. And that's how I look at things, right? And that's how I'm gonna teach my girls is you gotta try your best. And so I was in therapy at that time and my therapist said, Jen, you need to be on an antidepressant. So I was like, oh my God, is it gonna make me loopy? Like, no. And she's like, I promise you, it will help you. So I'm on Lexapro, which I'll be straight up, I'm still on it now. I think I'll be on it forever. I'm on the lowest dosage, and I still have feelings. I still cry, I still get angry, I still get upset. However, it has calmed me down tremendously where it doesn't feel like things are caving in. And so when I had that, it's not about the cranberry moment, it was because there was a trigger or feeling of, oh my gosh, like the world is falling, like everything's caving in, everything's just spiraling and becoming negative. When you go through healing and this journey and even on medication, right? These are tools. It's not a fix it. It's not like take this medicine. Okay, everything's done. Your problems are gone. No, it's a lot of therapy. It's hope. It's faith. It's believing in yourself. It's believing in God, whatever your God you choose, but it's believing in that you could get out of this mess, right? And so the medication, once I was on it, I felt like I could finally think and be myself. And, so I really have I've even encouraged some of my girlfriends, right? Especially now, anxiety, once you turn a mom, like once you become a mom, your anxiety, if you already have anxiety normally, times 100, you'll feel it more when you become a mom. And a lot of people like to cure it with drinking and partying, drugs, like all of these things, right? But it's never a fix it. It's just a cover up until the next time. And for me, the medication, when I'm on it, I really, truly just feel calm, my best. I just feel like myself. And I really wish that my parents or I was encouraged in high school when I was struggling a lot to get help. And because I feel like my direction in life, it would have gone a whole different pathway. And so when I got on the medication prior to that, I was really against it. It was something where I was like, no, I don't need anything to help me. But as I learned about it chemically and DNA wise, scientifically wise, there's some stuff that we have and that we don't. It's literally like if people explain mental illness and health and all that stuff as if it's like if you had diabetes, okay, you need insulin, right? Chemically, your body doesn't produce enough. And so when I was explained to about depression, anxiety, all these things, some people don't create enough serotonin in their brain. And so what happens is they need a boost to help. So my advice truly is the difference is, and I've done a lot like naturally, homeopathically, I'm kind of like a hippie in that sense. The reason why I ended up I could decide to get off of it anytime, but when I got on I decided to divorce. And I already knew the challenge and phases that I was up against. And I felt like in order for me to be the best that I could be, calm, mentally, emotionally, I felt like I needed that just to try it out. I'm one of those trier-outers, testers. Listen, I know a lot of my viewers are males, but also females. The few of you, which I love you guys, thank you so much for watching and listening to me. It's almost like birth control pills, right? sometimes once women get on it, there's different times where they're like, oh, this made me feel sick and disgusting, and then they give up. No, there's different brands, there's different like techniques, there's different like dosages. You have to test things out to see what works for you, because what works for me may not necessarily work for you. So don't go out and be like, oh my God, Jen told me to try this and I feel great. It's not even like that. You yourself have to make the effort to try and do your best to test different solutions. You want to find that solution. So you need to test different ways on how to make yourself find the solution that's best for yourself. Chemically, mentally, all those things. So that's the difference. If homeopathic things don't work, you know, for me to get on it, I realized it was like I needed something that I was lacking, and it was serotonin, and it runs in my family 3 generations back. So listen, you could be cool. We're all a little bit crazy, okay? But sometimes we need a little bit of help. So I encourage you guys to get help, get healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, and yeah, follow along as this journey as I'm healing myself. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. Why are you laughing? You're laughing about serotonin?